I'm Jerome Weeks. Why does a successful Hollywood and Broadway performer return to her roots in Oak Cliff to write a play? Regina Taylor is best known for her performances in films and TV shows such as I'll Fly Away and The Unit. But the SMU graduate is also a prolific playwright. Her new work, called the Trinity River Plays, follows a writer from adolescence to adulthood. It premieres at the Dallas Theater Center. Regina, welcome to Think.
Thank you very much.
The Trinity River Plays is a trilogy, but it started as a single play, the middle one, when Iris returns to Oak Cliff. Take us back. What led you then to start with Iris at 17?
Well, in my mind, I had 3 plays, and I needed to create space and time to set these 3 plays down on paper. I always knew that I would probably start with the middle piece, which is Rain. You see this character, Iris Spears, at different points in her life. We first see her in Jarfly when she is about to turn 17, on her 17th birthday. In the next piece, Rain, you see her 17 years later at the age of 34. And then the last piece, Ghost Story, we see her about 3 days later, and we see a glimpse of who she might become 17 years later. And that follows kind of the cycle of the cicada. In the first piece, Jarfly, it is her first cicada summer, and those are jarflies for some folk. And they start off as these grubby little worms up under the earth for 17 years. On their 17th birthday, they break the earth, climb up the tree at night, and wait for the light of day to hit. At that point, they shed their old skin and they spread their wings, this transformation. So what we're seeing in terms of these plays are these moments of transformation in a life, things that occur in a life that may change your life forever moving forward.
You have said that the death of your mother 5 years ago partly inspired you. How did that lead to writing about Iris?
Absolutely. It is when your foundation, when the matriarch of the family, when a mother dies, then you feel uprooted. You feel foundationally shaken. And so you start questioning identity. Who am I then? Where do I come from? Does that change? How do I move forward from here? Those are the questions I was having as I started writing these plays. So I wanted to, in starting to write these plays, explore identity and place, how a place names you. And certainly I am from Dallas, Texas, south of the Trinity, born and raised. And I wanted to write a piece that came from this soil, that speaks to my soul, that explores this place that names me, Dallas, Texas. And in these plays, you're very much rooted in the history of Dallas, in the mythology of Dallas, in the terrain of Dallas, from its flatness to its beautiful sky, from its recalling of going over the Singleton Bridge, going downtown H.L. Green, to its terrain today. That is the modern skyline that we have today, as well as the big red horse on the building that we recall from our past. How things change, how they stay the same, how things are always transforming.
You've mentioned some of the details that North Texans will certainly recognize, Baylor Hospital and the Hotel Adolphus, but the Trinity River itself is only discussed briefly once. So why is it in the title?
It is that which remains forever in this piece. It is the earth, it's the sky, it's the Trinity River that flows through Dallas, Texas, that unchanging source, that place where you may have gone to go fishing for catfish, that place where you may have been baptized, that place that holds a lot of resonance in different ways for different people from Dallas, Texas.
A lot happens in these plays. Family tensions over divorce, death, alcoholism, that kind of thing. Audiences, I think, are inevitably going to wonder about autobiographical echoes. How much did you draw from personal experience?
It's a piece of fiction. It's straight and simple. It draws from my imagination. It draws from this place, and I think certainly every audience member will recognize themselves. And it is about family, it's about love, it's about relationships, it's about that root source. And we know what that is at Thanksgiving dinner. Every Thanksgiving dinner, any holiday occasion, I think anyone knows that when you go home, and it is about home and ties to home, certain things start being dug up, and we either deal with it or we don't. And I think the people in these plays are taking the challenge to make the connections, to deal with the things that a lot of times we don't want to talk about. And when we talk about it, that's the beginning of a healing.
I said there was a lot in these plays. I even think there's a couple of recipes, practically. There's a lot of discussion of food. You were talking about Thanksgiving dinner. This family seems to be a one way they communicate.
I think for one of the characters, Daisy, it is her way of nurturing, her way of laying hands on, even as she is removed from her own daughter, trying to find a way to connect. I think all the characters challenged by that.
Now, the main character, Iris, is herself accused of writing about a family member. Has your work ever provoked that kind of response?
No, not at all.
Really? Growing up in Oak Cliff, Iris also dreams of going to SMU. What did going to SMU mean to you?
I was raised by a really wonderful mother. And one of my first memories was being on the floor with scissors and construction paper and crayons creating my own children's book. It was that she empowered me in terms of this little African-American girl south of the Trinity to imagine my own world, to be able to create my own world. And I think that influenced how I moved through the world as an adult. It was that she had certain dreams for me, expectations for me, that I was very blessed with that. It was a dream to go to SMU, just as she went to Wiley College to get a higher education to graduate. She wanted me to have all the possibilities open to me. And so going to Southern Methodist University was very wonderful in giving me a very solid foundation in moving forward through the world.
David Mamet, the famous playwright, is also the creator and producer of the unit, which you starred in. Did you ever discuss playwriting with him?
Yes, I did. He's a wonderful playwright, and I was really drawn to the material of the unit because of his writing.
Well, thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing the Trinity River plays.
Thank you very much.
You can read more about Regina Taylor and the Trinity River plays at artandseek.org. Chris?
Thanks, Jerome. To access our free podcast, you can go to the Think page of KERA's website, kera.org/think. And we'd like to know your thoughts on the show as well. You can email us at think@kera.org. My name is Chris Boyd. Thanks for being with us, and have a great week.
To learn more, go to kera.org/think. Think is made possible in part by Del Perot Systems. Del Perot Systems develops and delivers a comprehensive suite of IT and application services, business process solutions, and consulting services designed to help customers succeed. For more information, you can visit Dell.com. By Southwest Securities, a nationally recognized regional brokerage firm that's been meeting the needs of Southwest investors for more than 30 years. Southwest Securities is a member of the New York Stock Exchange and SIPC. By the Executive Education Center at the University of Texas at Dallas, providing degree and non-degree programs to help corporate professionals and executives stay ahead. On the web at som.utdallas.edu/executive. And by the valued support of KERA members. Thank you.